MACT here, and welcome back. We're going to talk about the OBDLink MX Bluetooth OBD2 scanner, and we're going to hook this up. Stand by.
Welcome back to a MACT video.
As you can see, we have the OBDLink MX, and it is a Bluetooth scanner, and it costs, I think, about $70–$80. I got it through Amazon, and it merely hooks up to your OBD2 link down below your dash, and you can utilize your cell phone. Yes, your Android device will work on it. Now, I use two different types of programs. I use what they call the Torque app and also the FORScan. I found some small problems with the Torque app. It doesn't want to read the upstream O2 sensors, but the FORScan does read the upstreams. So, and they both have their pluses and minuses, I guess, but I'm finding I like the FORScan better. It does have a graphical interface and everything that goes with it. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and power everything up, and then we'll go ahead and check out what both of them do. But the first thing we have to do is hook it up. Now what you do is you get it all situated here, and then of course you just find your connection and you plug it in. And that's all you have to do. You see the blue light starts flashing, that means your Bluetooth is hooked up, and then your green power light. And there's a button right here you can push to reset everything if it doesn't work right. But that's all you do. You just plug it in. And now we're going to go ahead and connect up with our smartphone and see what we can see. Now the first thing we got to do, of course, is start the car. So we got to go ahead and push the button. Get the old edge running. Get things working. And of course I got the AC on because it is hot today. But we're going to go ahead and get things moving here for this edge. And I'm going to try to get things hooked up here so we can see what we're doing. Now keep in mind that we do have to take and get this FORScan hooked up, and you get this phone to actually show up. Let's see. Okay, so we got the of course the OBD2. We have to get everything going here, trying to get things situated. It's not as easy as I thought. We have the Torque app right here, and of course we have it all set up, and of course it will do it sideways for us, so we want to make sure we check it all out this way. Now we want real time, so we just hit real time, and it of course connects automatically. And then as you see, we have everything. In the top left here we have our RPM, we have our speed, we have our coolant temperature, and then of course over here we have our acceleration, our throttle, and then our vacuum. So you have all those on there. Now we can also go to another one that's our revs, and that's our main screen, and then we can go down to our graphs. Now the Torque can also do graphs, but what it does not do is oxygen sensor upstream. For whatever reason I can't get that, but what I do have is my oxygen sensor bank 2, number 2. And then I got, of course, my OS1 equalizer, which is lambda, which basically wants to be a static at 1. And then, of course, if it goes up one way, it's rich, and it goes down another way, it's lean. And I'll show you how that reacts to our banks. But this one here is not in operation. For whatever reason, Torque is not reading the upstreams. It only reads bank 2 and bank 1 number 2s, which are the downstream after the cat. And then of course my MAF sensor is on there. And then other things I have that are on here, of course, are my cats. Okay, as you can see, cat 1 and cat 2, or vice versa rather, cat 2 and cat 1. And then I got my long-term fuel trim for bank 2, and then I have my long-term fuel trim for bank 1. Then I have my short-term fuel trim for bank 2, and then I got my short-term for bank 1. And we can see how that all interacts. But what I really want to do is show you some of the other things that it can do. And this is, of course, the torque app. And while I'm driving, I want to show you how your FORScan, the 2011 through 14, handles fuel. And of course, we're going to show you through this graph what it does while you're driving, because I think you're going to find out that while you're driving, it does some interesting things in cutting the fuel off. And then I'll show you how in the graph situation where the edge, actually that 3.5, will cut the fuel down to almost nothing, just enough to keep it running when you take your foot off the gas and you're still moving. And I think that's pretty interesting all by itself. Now you're seeing here in the deceleration and everything that I'm going to be doing, I'm taking my foot off the gas, and you're not seeing much change. Now I'm accelerating a little bit. Again, you're going to see a little bit on the downstreams, but you're not seeing much. Now I'm doing 20 miles an hour. I'm going to take my foot off the gas. Now you really don't see much of a jump or a change in the top left one, the equalization sensor. Basically that's a 14.7 to 1 ratio it measures. Now as I said, it'll go up or down depending what's going on, either rich or lean. And in this case, when I'm driving down the road, you're going to start seeing it. I'm going to accelerate to about 40 miles an hour. Now watch what the top left one does and the bottom ones do when I decelerate. Now I'm at 45, I got a red light, I'm going to decelerate. Now watch what happens. See the top one for the oxygen equalization? Okay, it's went really lean. It went really lean, folks. And the aftercats went really lean. This is how the FORScan 3.5 manages your fuel. What it does is it cuts the fuel down to almost nothing and gives it just enough fuel to keep the cylinders running. Now you're going to see it all went back to normal as far as the equalization on the oxygen sensor top left, but now you can see that the bottom ones are gradually starting to go back up to normal again. So they're going to go up to about 8 to 9 millivolts. And now I'm accelerating again. So that means they're going to start manipulating the speed and everything else, going rich to lean. Okay, so as you can see, they're moving around quite a bit. And keep in mind, each bank is a separate bank. And then the top left one, equalization, not a whole lot going on there. Now I let off the gas, and as you can see, I'm coasting, and again I'm hitting the gas, and again you start climbing back up again as the mixtures rich out. Now this is part of what Ford has done to this 3.5 in order to manage your fuel usage. So when you're not putting your foot on the gas or maintaining any type of speed, it will cut the fuel down to increase fuel mileage, just like you're seeing it do right now. I've come to a complete stop, and now everything is trying to go back to normal engine management in an idle situation. And you'll see the bottom two start moving back up to normal position here shortly, and they will climb back up. Sometimes it takes them a while because when you decelerate it stays into a lean, but eventually they do go back up just like they did right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive us out here to the interstate, and we're going to hit up about 70 miles an hour and see how these react under those conditions, because right now this is a city driving mode, and everything else being said, this is how it's all behaving. So we'll come back on once we get going here, once everybody stops running the red light. Amazing. Anyway, I was driving earlier today down a one-way road that's 4 lanes wide, and going to buy my new brake pads and rotors, and coming at me was some lady that decided she wanted to come down the wrong way, down the one way, and wouldn't you know it, I was in this car, Blueberry, and Blueberry doesn't have dash cams. It's my wife's car. So I wasn't able to catch that fiasco on video. But anyway, everybody honked at her, and she eventually figured out she was going the wrong direction. So all's well, I guess. Again, you see me decelerating and accelerating based on traffic. Right now I'm decelerating down a hill, and there is no fuel really going to the engine. And again, that's just evidence of the management system of what you're looking at, and is perfectly normal on your Ford Edge 3.5. I'm not entirely certain what it does when you have your EcoBoost engines, how they manage their fuel system, but I imagine they're probably employing the same basic principle and technique to engine and fuel management with those engines also. Now I also have the FORScan tool, and I will stop and after I get off the interstate, I will stop and put it onto the FORScan, so you can have a good idea what the FORScan looks like also while it is in operation. And like I said, I like the FORScan better because the FORScan, for whatever reason, will give me the oxygen millivolts for the oxygen sensors, both the upstream and the downstream, whereas I cannot get an upstream reading on oxygen sensors with the Torque app. Now, other information you may want to know, and I'll put down in the links, is the price and location of these apps for your smartphone, Android devices. And the Torque app is about $5, and so is the FORScan. You can get them through like your Google Play and other things. But they download, they activate, and they're real simple. They're Bluetooth devices, and they connect up pretty easy. It's usually not much of an issue. And I don't know about you folks, but I'm running Bluetooth right now, and I am running my phone through my car and my OBDLink MX through Bluetooth. So I'm not quite sure how that all works out. I thought for some reason you couldn't run two Bluetooths on the car, but I am running two simultaneously, and my phone is connected to the car, and my phone is connected to the OBDLinks too. So if you didn't think you could connect two devices at once to your phone, I guess I'm proving you all wrong right now, because I am connected to two Bluetooth devices on my phone. So now here we go. We're going to hit it up. A little bit of acceleration, as you can see. Hard acceleration, and that's what it looks like under hard acceleration. Basically had it floored. And I will get onto the interstate. Floor again a little bit. And you can see how everything reacts. Now I got my foot off the gas right now. I'm going about 60 miles an hour down the highway. Now I'm going to give it some more gas because I had to slow down. But as you can see, doing 70 miles an hour, and we got steady milliamps, and everything else is going pretty good. Now I'm letting off the gas because I'm getting ready to get back on the on-ramp. Short little trip on the interstate. And the off-ramp, here I come. And I'm coasting the whole way, folks. Slowly dropping my speed. And as you can see, everything is going down to zero or a negative. Okay? So we are definitely leaning out the system big time. The whole time I'm cruising and coasting right now, and I will be coming to a stop. And once I find a place to pull over here a bit, I'll switch over to the FORScan to show you how it actually interacts and works with everything. Just a lot of heavy traffic. Everybody's out and about today. There we go. As you can see, that is how it actually works. So again, let off my gas and everything will drop like it is supposed to. So this is as a general rule how your 3.5 will operate under normal conditions. So if you start having other issues, you want to use, of course, these tools to do it. But I will not say that this is an end-all to service all of your needs on these apps. I ultimately, as you can see in the video, will go to the Mac tool, Veris or something like that as far as a scanner to actually get a full-blown reading on what's going on, because it's nothing like having the ability to graph everything and check everything in their PIDs and all this other stuff that you really need to check. Again, I'm not showing you how to operate these apps. You can figure it out for yourself. I'm just showing you what the app can do when you got it plugged in and you're running it. It does have its uses. I am finding that I have this vehicle here is having a little bit of a temperature issue, and so I'm just trying to figure out what's going on with the thermostat on it. And I'll show you that here in just a second. I just want to pull over here, find a place to reset everything, and then of course we'll continue on smartly with wherever we're going to be going. But I'm just going to do a quick turnaround here so we can hook up the other one and then get on the road again. So stand by. Now, one thing that I did want to show y'all is I do have a high temperature reading. The FORScan generally will run about 195 thermostat, and I'm running 203 right now. It doesn't really get much higher than that. I've had it up as high as 207, and it makes me wonder if maybe the thermostat is not sticky or something like that. So I may replace the thermostat, since it is a very simple process to get to, and replace it. But I've been monitoring the coolant because my other FORScan is running about 197, 198, and this one's just a little bit hotter, and they're both the same type of vehicle, model year, and everything else. So that is pretty much it on this app here. We're going to switch over to the FORScan. So we're connecting the FORScan up. As it gets loaded up here, we'll go ahead and get things situated. Now, as you can see, we do have the FORScan hooked up. You have your vehicle information, and of course you can get all that information there, and then just figure out what you're doing. Check for diagnostic errors. You got logs you can do, so you can data log your operations. You got tables, so you can view your PIDs in, or PIDs as they're known, in a table mode, or you can view them in a dashboard or a graph. So we can check the graph here and see what's going on. And then you got your cat temps here, what they're running. And right now everything's in Celsius on me. I haven't bothered to figure out how to change that yet. But there we have our volts for our oxygen sensors. So we have our oxygen sensor 1, bank 1, which remember I told you was not showing. It's your ETC, your oxygen sensor bank 1, sensor 1, oxygen sensor 1, bank 2, and then your sensor 2, bank 1, and sensor 2, bank 2, number 2. So you got all those there that you can watch and evaluate to see what they're doing. and how they're running. See, they're running at whatever milliamps that they are running. Now we want to go to basically a graphical view. We got there, and then we want the dashboard here. So this is how your dashboard will look, and again, it's all in Celsius, and of course we're not running it. You hit the play button and boom, everything pops up and starts running. So now we can see that. So you just hit that play button and you start running it. Cat temp 503 on each side, basically in Celsius, so you can figure out what that is. And then of course we have our engine coolant temperature, which is running 96 degrees Celsius, which is about 203 degrees or whatever they're saying. Then we have our aux O2 sensor 1, bank 1. That is running, of course, and that's going to move the most. Remember, that's your upstream. Just as this one here is your upstream. Okay, this one right here is your upstream. This is your upstream. And then, of course, this will be your volts for your downstreams. These are after the cats. So you're going to see these two running right here and how they operate. Now you're going to watch what happens, and these are going to do the same thing and register the same way. So if we watch those, we're going to see that they actually will, of course, change and fluctuate quite a bit as we're driving, and you'll see graphically that they react the same way as the torque app did. So you can actually witness it in both the FORScan and the torque, and we'll go ahead and get that moving. Again, you'll witness how it cuts the fuel off, and then how some of the display works in the FORScan, and get the data logging sheets and everything else you can do. It takes a while to learn how to use these apps, and you just got to play with them. And I by no means am an expert in them. I know enough now to figure out what I'm looking for and to check for codes and everything else. But here I'm going to cut off the fuel by pressing the accelerator, and now I'm letting go of it. And now you can watch what's happening. As you can see, they go down to a 0 status. Pretty interesting. It does tell you how it cuts the fuel off and tries to maximize your fuel economy while you're driving. So essentially what that's telling you is that the cats are not getting any fuel dumped into them. You know, remember, it is also part of this to prolong the life of the catalytic converters. And by not dumping raw fuel that's not burned because you're decelerating into the cats, what you're doing is you're prolonging the life of the cats in that process. So it's all interrelated. You know, it's a mechanical engine that is being finely tuned by a computer, constantly trying to achieve the most efficiency they can out of the systems that are operating. And that's really what it comes down to, folks. But again, this is a FORScan program, and this is showing you exactly what I was showing you when I was using the torque application. And it's a pretty simple device, and it is all ran through that Bluetooth adapter that I got plugged in here under the dash. And I think it is definitely a worthwhile tool to have in your tool chest for your Ford Edge and Lincoln MKX, because you know what, information like this can definitely help you out quite a bit whatever you're doing. You can monitor all those temps, make sure things are running right, and that way you don't end up with a broken engine that doesn't need to be broken. And that's really what I aim for on this. Well, folks, I hope that you did find that some of this video was rather interesting at the very least. Going through and driving and testing the systems out. I'm not necessarily looking at trying to evaluate these two programs as far as the apps go. I just wanted to show you what kind of feedback you get out of them, because there's a lot of other videos out there that tell you how the torque app and everything else works and FORScan. So I just wanted to show you what I use it for to help me when I'm working on my Ford Edge, and you guys can use it to work on your MKX and Ford Edge too. So the products are out there to help you determine hey, do I have a problem? Can I avoid the garage fee for the $100 and some diagnostic that the Ford or the other garages want to charge? This helps educate you, and it's cheap, folks. You spend money on it one time. Okay, you buy the OBDLinks MX device. You can use it with your cell phone for $5. You have an app running, and you can diagnose basically what you need to know if you're having some issues. So it does help you save money, because you never know. You have your car for a while, it'll pay for itself for the very first time you can diagnose something. And if you can't diagnose it, then of course that's what you pay the professionals for. But a lot of this stuff you can do yourself. You can go out and diagnose it and get it fixed and repair it yourself. So why not use some of this to save some money and help keep your edge running and everything else? But that being said, I think we're done here. I'm getting ready to go back to the house, and I got a few brake rotors on this vehicle that I found are crappy, to say name the least. So anyway, I'm doing a little bit of a budget brake job here on this thing. Not necessarily budget. I'm spending some money on some brakes, but then again, I find that if you spend the money on the brakes, then the brakes last. So, but enjoy this. Remember, Google Plus, YouTube account, MACTFORDEDGE on YouTube. Always go there, and also make sure you do subscribe, because after all, I do like people to watch my videos all the time. And of course, never forget Facebook. Facebook is always there, folks. You got to go over there and try it out, because there's a lot of us waiting there to help you out, answer those questions, and of course, have a good community interaction. We like to help, and we like to talk about our vehicles. So by all means, join that Facebook group and come and enjoy the fun. And we try to answer the questions we can and help wherever possible. So to that end, I do want to turn this over to Mercy Girl, because she has a couple other things she wants to tell you before the end of this video. Remember, every day your feet hit the ground is a great day. And today, I am having a great day, and I want you to. So, have a great day.
Car repair is fun. Thank you for watching MACT's videos, and remember to like and subscribe. This is a Mercy Girl production.